Hello, Grade 2 learners. Welcome to Digital Story Time. Today, we will be reading interesting stories and can be enjoyed by everyone. Each story has a title, a body, questions, and a glossary. Watch and enjoy. Welcome. Adon the Beautiful by Taiwo Hineni and Wihan Dijaga. Adon was very beautiful. All the men in her village wanted to marry her. But Adon refused them all. One market day, a man borrowed legs from another man, and arms from another, and a body from a third man. Then this man joined all the parts together. He put his head on top and went to the market. This man wanted Adon and was determined to marry her. Adon was pleased by his appearance. She wanted to be with him. The man came from a far town, and Adon decided to return with him. As Adon and the man journeyed to his place, the owner of the legs took the legs back. Then the owner of the arms took his arms back. And finally the owner of the body took that back. Only the head was left, and the head went on. Adon was scared, but she did not run away. They arrived at the house of the head. The following morning, before the head went to his farm, he spoke to Tortoise. "If Adon tries to escape, blow this horn to tell me," said the head. After the head left, Adon packed her things. Then she began to run away. Seeing her, Tortoise blew the horn. "Head! Head! Adon is about to run away!" puffed the tortoise. The head went up to Adon and said, "Where do you think you're going?" Adon went back to the head's house. Eventually, Adon consulted a diviner about what to do. The diviner advised, "Go and buy some bean cakes. Soak them in palm oil and put them in Tortoise's horn. Adon followed the diviner's instructions. She put the oily cakes into the horn. The following day, she took her things and began to run away again. When Tortoise took the horn to blow it, the delicious bean cakes fell into his mouth. Tortoise ate, and Adon ran away. We have finished reading the first book. Next are questions and glossary. Ready? Questions. Number 1. Why do all the men in the village want to marry Adon? Number 2. Why was Adon scared? Number 3. What did the tortoise do when Adon tried to run away? Number 4. What did the diviner advise Adon? Number 5. What did you learn from Adon's story? Glossary. Beautiful. Beautiful. Determined. Determined. Scared. Scared. Tortoise. Tortoise. Horn. Horn. Puffed. Puffed. Palm oil. PALMOIL. I hope you had fun reading this book and learned some new words and signs. Now let's read the second book. Enjoy!
Clever Jackal and Foolish Crow, an African storybook by Koleka Mabeta and Benjamin Mitchley. Once upon a time, Jackal was walking around the bush. He was very hungry. He saw Crow flying above the trees with a big piece of cheese in his mouth. That cheese looks delicious. I must find a way to get it, thought Jackal. Oh, I have a plan, said Jackal to himself while wiping his mouth quickly. He did not want Crow to notice that he was hungry. Crow had been flying the whole morning. He was tired. He decided to sit on a branch of a tree. Jackal sat under the tree where the crow was sitting. Jackal called with a huge smile, "Hello, Crow. You're looking very good today. Your feathers look glossy and healthy. You must be taking very good care of yourself." Crow was very flattered to hear this. Crow always thought he was the strongest and most beautiful of all the other birds. I hear you also have the most beautiful singing voice of all the other birds. Won't you sing a song for me this morning? Crow was so flattered that he stretched his wings and prepared to sing for the Jackal. He pushed his chest out and let out a loud pitched sound. As Crow started singing, the cheese fell to the ground, right in front of Jackal. Crow stopped and looked down. Jackal grabbed the piece of cheese and ran into the bush. Crow was left angry and hungry.
We have finished reading the second book. What have you understood from the story? Let's have some questions and glossary words.
Questions. Number 1. Where was the crow carrying the cheese? Number 2. How did Jackal plan to get the cheese? Number 3. Why was the crow flattered? Number 4. Why did the crow drop the cheese? Number 5. What did Jackal do when the cheese fell? Glossary. Jackal. J A C K A L. Crow. C R O W. Cheese. C H E E S E. Delicious. D E L I C I O U S. Glossy. G L O S S Y. Flattered. F L A T T E R E D.
We have finished reading the second book. We will be reading a third book. Enjoy. Biantaka and the Dead Pot. A story by Cornelius Wambi, Gulure, and Emily Bug. Once upon a time, there was a man called Biantaka who had a cow. Each day, Biantaka grazed his cow. He also gave the cow water to drink, but Biantaka only had a very small pot for water. So, he went at his neighbor's home to borrow a bigger pot for water. His neighbor agreed to lend Biantaka his biggest clay pot, saying, "My neighbor's problem is my problem." After a few days, Biantaka went to a potter and bought a small pot. He took it home. He put the small pot inside the big pot that he had borrowed from his neighbor. Then he put the big pot with the small pot inside it on his head. He carried the big pot to the neighbor who loaned it to him. Biantaka told him, "I am returning your pot. It has reproduced." The neighbor was amazed that his pot had produced another pot. He praised Biantaka, saying, "Your home is blessed." After a while, Biantaka went back to his neighbor to borrow the pot again. He did not have good intentions. The owner of the big pot waited excitedly for Biantaka to return his pot. Eventually, he went to Biantaka's home and said, "I have come for my pot." Biantaka told his neighbor, "My friend, your pot died. I was just on my way to tell you the bad news." His neighbor clapped his hands together in surprise. His face began to swell with anger. He shouted at Biantaka, "I have never heard of a pot dying." Biantaka replied, "My friend, you should accept these things. Everything that reproduces must die. I was also very sorry about the big pot's death." His neighbor was very angry and he went to the court to report Biantaka. The judge listened to explanations from both of them. He found the owner of the pot was in the wrong and decreed that Biantaka must be allowed to keep the dead pot. When Biantaka told you that the pot had reproduced, you accepted. When he says that every living thing which reproduces must die, he is correct. That is how the judge judged the case. Biantaka's neighbor went home walking like a snail. Biantaka had got the big pot with his cleverness. After reading a book, we always ask questions. Are you ready? Questions. Number 1. What did Biantaka use the small pot for? Number 2. Why did Biantaka borrow the big pot from his neighbor? Number 3. Why did Biantaka go to the potter? Number 4. What did the judge say about the pot? Number 5. Do you think Biantaka did good? Why? Glossary. Graze. G-R-A-Z-E. Potter. P-O-T-T-E-R. Lend. L-E-N-D. L-O-A-N-E-D. Reproduce. R-E-P-R-O-D-U-C-E. D U C E. Amazed. A M A Z E D. Intentions. I N T E N T I O N S. Decreed. D E C R E E D. We are done for today. See you next time. Happy reading. Bye.
Test yourself in answering the questions in every storybook and get instant results. Visit ekitabu.com/TV and try it today.